Okay, how can you get prepared for a food allergist visit? Oftentimes, a primary care provider will refer you to an allergist or an immunologist. This specialist requires at least 9 additional years of training in the United States, and the most experienced tenure has a designation after their medical doctor or MD initial that is FAAAI, or the Fellow of the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology. So, if you are looking for a board certified food allergist, there is a public website at the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology in the US. You can do a search and find a location specific option for you. But that's the clearest part of the journey because the rest of the path can be very nonlinear and, frankly, miss our expectations on getting a clear food allergy diagnosis. This takes time, and unfortunately, a few different tests, waiting, and some isolations with controls and variables that require patience to see what the body's response is and understand what the doctors are trying to rule out, whether it be certain foods that you're unclear which are triggering the allergic reaction, or different blood work or skin tests. And all of these take time to get that certainty on the diagnosis. So the question you might be asking is, okay, what can I do? Well, here are a few ways for you to be proactive in the experience. The first thing is think like an investigator. So pay attention to the details and look at the food as evidence. If you're unclear on the foods that are triggering a reaction, start by recording the time, the date, and the food that's consumed, along with any reactions that are noticed, whether they're within a few minutes, of course, or even delayed up to 2 hours or so. The second is really to pack your patience. This is a hard one, but remember that each person's encounters with food allergies and their discovery timeline is very unique. You have to bring the whole person story to the doctor. So keep in mind that medical doctors are trained to look at specific conditions, but oftentimes the food allergic individuals will suffer from other conditions too. Because they're so acutely focused on the one concern with it, which is food allergy, they may be missing other hints. For example, asthma, eczema, and seasonal allergies may be buried on the chart, but until you bring that full story to light, it's sometimes harder for the doctor to piece all of the clues together. So really think about the whole person and ensure that the doctor isn't just reading the charts, but rather you're taking, this statistic or this number or this caseload and putting more context behind your individualized situation. And lastly, you can expect questions on the family history. Who has food allergies? In our family, nobody that really came into contact with our direct lineage, but we do have asthma, some eczema, and even seasonal allergies. So the doctors will want to know that information so they can put together the DNA part, not just the environmental aspects of the food allergy picture. So the researching the family history ahead of time, asking relatives for this comprehensive story will serve you well as you're preparing to give that food allergist as much information as possible.